Everyone also hurried to the living room. Uncle Vu approached and asked Zhang Yi, "What's going on?" Zhang Yi took the binoculars and looked through the lens to the opposite side. He felt a chill down his spine. Those shadows turned out not to be people but a group of zombies slowly approaching. Their clothes were torn and old, their bodies covered with the bluish-purple hue of corpses. Some faces had even started to decay. However, due to the extremely cold temperature, their bodies hadn't completely decomposed. Zhang Yi whispered, "Zombies. They have really appeared." Everyone was terrified and quickly used binoculars to observe. Through the lens, those corpses were slowly moving toward them. It was certainly not a trick. Liangyue suddenly said, "Could it be that these corpses crawled out from the Shishan base?" Zhang Yi was surprised, "How do you know?" After carefully observing through the binoculars, Liangyue pointed at the zombies, "Look closely. Some of these corpses are still wearing the uniforms of the Shishan base." Following Liangyue's direction, Zhang Yi observed. Indeed, upon closer inspection, some corpses were wearing the uniforms of the Shishan base. Zhang Yi put down the binoculars. After his initial shock, he gradually calmed down. "It's really strange, isn't it? Despite the freezing weather, these corpses haven't frozen and can still move." Yang Xinxin analyzed, "It might be some kind of virus that's been released." Zhang Yi nodded. "Fortunately, it's only a few corpses. Though a bit scary, understanding that it's caused by a virus isn't too surprising." Zhang Yi took a gun from his space. "Let's go, we need to put an end to these dead things. Remember, when fighting zombies, aim for the head to be more effective." Everyone regained their composure, realizing that these were just zombies. There was no need to be afraid, as they had agile combat abilities and were well armed. For Zhang Yi and his group, killing zombies was simple and not dangerous, just a zombie-killing game. Even Lu Karen couldn't help but run up to Zhang Yi and say coquettishly, "Big brother, give me a gun too. I want to try." Zhang Yi thought for a moment, then handed her a rifle, "Stay right next to me and be careful when shooting. Don't hit our teammates." Lu Karen enthusiastically replied, "Got it. Finally, my chance." She took the rifle, her face full of excitement. It was best for Zhang Yi to leave Hua Hua at home, mainly out of concern that it might eat something harmful to its stomach. Zhou Ke and others were still afraid of zombies, so they hid at home. When Zhang Yi and his group left the house, their faces showed relief. Recently, everyone had been training hard but hadn't had a chance to test their skills. This occasion was perfect for them to try out their abilities against live targets. Uncle Vu transformed into a giant and prepared to advance. Zhang Yi shouted, "Uncle Vu, use the gun." Uncle Vu laughed loudly, "No need, let's save some ammunition." Liangyue, also eager for battle, drew his sword and charged forward. The three behind were Zhang Yi, Lu Karen, and Su Chunlei. They chose to use guns to eliminate the enemies from the rear. Zhang Yi shot accurately, while Su Chunlei and Lu Karen focused on practicing their gun usage. Lu Karen excitedly said, "Su Chunlei, let's see who can kill more zombies." Su Chunlei sneered, "Then I'll definitely win. I've been practicing a few months longer than you." Zhang Yi didn't use his superpowers, relying only on his precise shooting ability. Su Chunlei and Lu Karen also aimed at the zombies' heads and fired. Instantly, two zombies were hit in the head and fell, but suddenly Zhang Yi noticed something. Something was wrong. The zombie that had been shot in the head seemed to be slowly getting up. Could it be that because they were frozen, they didn't die? No way, even as the undead, they were still flesh and blood and couldn't possibly endure being shot. As Zhang Yi was pondering, the zombie stood up again, with a bullet hole in its head, but no blood flowing out. It continued to advance. At this moment, Uncle Vu and Liangyue quickly rushed forward, simultaneously swinging their swords at the zombie. In that instant, the previously silent zombies unexpectedly erupted into a terrifying fury. They let out a chilling howl from their throats, resembling wild dogs. Immediately afterward, thousands of zombies on the snowy field issued the same howl and charged toward Liangyue and Uncle Vu. The zombies' initial sluggishness vanished, and their speed now rivaled that of hunting dogs. They charged straight towards Uncle Vu and Liangyue. In an instant, countless zombies surrounded Uncle Vu and Liangyue. Before Zhang Yi could even react, he saw the two of them being swarmed by thousands of zombies. Zhang Yi shouted, "Be careful." Uncle Vu's voice rang out, "Damn it." He swung the shovel in his hand, sweeping away a dozen zombies and even cutting through the bodies of 3 others. These zombies were incredibly tough, their bodies were not weak at all. Fortunately, Uncle Vu and Liangyue were also mutants with enhanced abilities. Their close combat skills were extremely strong, and even though they were surrounded by thousands of zombies, they could still fight back effectively. Liangyue wielded his sword. The cold blade flashed through the air, easily slicing through the steel-like bodies of the zombies. However, this method of killing was too inefficient given the vast number of zombies. If this continued, they would be exhausted and likely eaten by the zombies. No one had anticipated the situation would become so severe. Until a few seconds ago, Zhang Yi and the others had thought of zombies as slow-moving, fragile creatures, completely different from what they were now facing. These zombies were stronger, fiercer, faster, and harder to kill. Even after being chopped in half, a zombie would only collapse for a few seconds before raising its head and screaming again. Su Chunlei, seeing the broken bodies on the ground still struggling and crawling towards Uncle Vu and Liangyue, couldn't help but feel terrified. Su Chunlei exclaimed in shock, even with their heads smashed, they still won't die. How can we eliminate them? What kind of monsters are they? Why can't they be killed? Lu Karen, pale with fear, hurriedly fired her gun in hopes of killing a few more zombies and saving Uncle Vu and Liangyue. However, this action not only failed to kill the zombies but also attracted their attention. A huge group of zombies broke away and headed towards the three of them. Zhang Yi remained calm. Knowing that shooting them in the head wouldn't kill these zombies and that guns were ineffective, he put away his handgun and drew a circle in the air. A massive spatial door appeared in front of them. The zombies rushed forward at incredible speed, but before they could reach Zhang Yi, they disappeared one by one into the spatial door. Su Chunlei breathed a sigh of relief. Lucky, thanks to the boss's spatial door. With this, we can easily deal with these mindless zombies cleanly. However, right after Su Chunlei spoke, the zombies that had been charging forward suddenly stopped in front of the spatial door. What? Zhang Yi frowned, sensing that things were not so simple. Zombies, being mutated corpses, shouldn't possess intelligence, but their ability to sense danger and stop was entirely illogical. There were two possibilities: either these were not actual zombies but some other intelligent creatures, or someone was secretly controlling them. The second possibility seemed more plausible. Could someone be controlling the zombies? Just like the last time when the bodies of the soldiers disappeared without a trace. If so, this could explain everything. Zhang Yi decided to use a simpler method to handle the situation. With his right hand, he opened the spatial door, and a massive heavy tank suddenly appeared on the snow. Uncle Vu and Liangyue, follow my orders. When I count to 3, both of you jump into the air. As soon as Zhang Yi finished speaking, he stepped inside the tank. Zhang Yi thought to himself, though controlling the tank wasn't entirely smooth for him, he had learned how to use it from Uncle Vu. Uncle Vu and Liangyue immediately understood Zhang Yi's intention. After Zhang Yi loaded the cannon, he began the countdown, 3, 2, 1. As soon as the count reached 1, Uncle Vu and Liangyue used all their strength to leap into the sky. Both being mutants with enhanced abilities, their extraordinary physical power allowed them to jump over 10 meters high. Meanwhile, the tank's cannon let out a deafening blast. A shell exploded amidst the zombies, sending hundreds of them flying. The zombies were blown apart, and Liangyue and Uncle Vu quickly took this opportunity to breathe a sigh of relief and retreat to a safe place. The remaining zombies continued their relentless pursuit with terrifying speed. After reloading, the tank fired another shell. Once again, it blasted hundreds of zombies away. However, there were still many zombies charging from different directions. Zhang Yi stepped out of the tank. He silently retrieved a peculiar piece of equipment from his spatial ability, consisting of 2 large metal canisters connected to a long nozzle. It looked like a pesticide sprayer. This device was a flamethrower, which Zhang Yi had collected from the Shishan base and had never used before because of its short range and cumbersome nature. However, to deal with these hard-to-kill zombies, it was very effective. Zhang Yi shouted, "Hurry up, they're still coming." He knelt on one knee to stabilize the flamethrower and started spewing a long stream of fire over 10 meters. Even in the freezing weather, the heat from the flamethrower was enough to make the zombies feel the burn. The zombies started to turn and flee. Zhang Yi's eyes sharpened. "Running away, are you?" Their clothes caught fire, and their bodies were ablaze. Concentrated in one spot, the effect of the flames became even more pronounced. Initially, Zhang Yi was worried that the burning zombies would charge at them, but unexpectedly, they couldn't control themselves and ran away. This further confirmed Zhang Yi's suspicion. These zombies were definitely being controlled by someone in the shadows.